And welcome back to Railroads Online, and this is episode 2 of the Moved Industries playthrough. And as you can see here, from the last episode, I have filled in all the groundworks and made sure all the splines are a single spline through each section, so that I don't have multiple splines. So we've totally built so far we've built a total of 4 splines. One long one to get here, one for each one of these curves, and one to join the Y in at the back. Now in the last episode, I actually made a mistake, and one person picked up on it in the comments, and that was when I measured out this direction. I measured out 60 meters to here, and then I only measured 30 meters back this way, and that made the Y too narrow on the base, and that's why these corners were really tight. And I've come back in off camera and I've rebuilt this Y again so that it is spread out like it should be, and we've gotten nice smooth curves in the sides of the Y. Now in this episode we will be building on to put in a main yard and the cell lane here at the freight depot, which has been moved over to the middle of the map. And so we'll get started building on that. And the first thing we're going to do, of course, is get rid of the grass. Oh, before I do that, wanted to point out that putting the track on top of the new splines gets the grass through the groundwork at just the right amount, so that it's basically just showing up through, only just through, which is about the depth that I like to build at. We'll go to options, graphics, turn off the grass. I'm back out here, and now we can actually see where we're going. And we will start off with some normal track, the new spline track, and we'll just put in a couple of lengths here. And you'll probably notice that I actually have moved this line over a little bit so that we can actually get a line that passes straight through instead of the actual through line passing through the actual cell point. So I can actually have a train in here at the cell point and still get past. And we'll re-rotate this here around and put a piece in here to mark where it goes. I'm going to have to go to zeros, I think. Place that down because it's not going to let us put it where we want it. Got to go to ones. Ones. And now we don't want it to actually link. That would be bad. Just want to put the track through here at the right depth. And through to about here will do. Just so we've got enough length that we can actually fit a train in there. And a bit more out the other side. Now, come to here, we should be able to get a connection onto the right one. No, it's not going to let me. So we'll get rid of this thing here off the top so we don't accidentally connect to it. And I reckon that should be about far enough. Well, that's also going to be a problem, so we'll get rid of this here off of here. Don't need it in the way. We're going to have to take this piece here out. So we need to put a switch in there. We need to come back to here. And back about 30 meters. What length was that? Say 100. We'll come back to 87 and then another 13, which should bring us back to 76. And that should give us enough room then to put a switch in here to the right. And we'll actually work this curve out. That's it's going to line up. And the length that we need in the new splines, that way we can just build straight over the top of it. And we need to come a little bit longer. So I'll add another piece on here. About there. Try again. A little bit longer. Oh, even a little bit longer than that. Gotta be getting close now. I think I've actually gone just a little bit too far, which is good, because now we can come back and take that bit out. Work out how much we need to come back. We're using that piece to judge. And now we should be pretty much lined up. That's close enough for me. Now we'll delete that bit there out of there. And somewhere close is about there. Delete that bit out of there. And then circle mode off. Spin it around so it lines up. And then we'll get a link. And there we go. That's automatically made the curve for that piece. Now we want to go. What will happen when I put the alignment on 1 meter here? Where will it line up to this track? Put it on 10 first so that we can get the 270. 270. Okay, it's lining up on the 10s. Where does it line up on the 1 meter? We're half track width out on a 1 meter. So what if we put it on 50? Where does that land us? Okay, that lines up. Now we want to count the distance that we've got between here. Oh, actually, no, for the first lane, it's going to be a little bit harder to work out. Yes, we want to get a service lane in there as well. So we'll measure over from this one. We'll just take an estimate from here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 10. Put another lane in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put circle mode on. And that'll mark where that lane needs to go. And these should be an equal distance apart now, or close enough to. And that will be a service lane. And we'll put this line through as well. We'll actually put a switch on here, mark the distance, a little bit here on the end, so we can turn the switch back around. Again, we need to do the same trick that we did before by building out from here in a straight line. We'll estimate to here and see how close we lined up, which we've gone too far. Oh, we should have left that there. Put it back again, because that'll give us an idea of how much shorter to make this piece. We're that far, so we'll come to there. I think that's close enough of a lineup. No, maybe one more go. One more go. We can get it closer than that. Back just a little bit further. How close is that? That's a better lineup. Happy with that. Okay, now we need to remove this piece here. And put it back again this way. Do the right distance. Somewhere near, about here will do. And circle mode off. Rotate it around till it's somewhere close. Oh, we did see a link symbol there. There we go. Now we've got a link symbol. And link that up to there, and that gives us our in and out for that lane. Let's put a little piece here on the end. Just to mark where it's going to go. So we do need to take this piece here out and replace it with bridge rail for the moment. And yeah, I reckon we want it to about here will do. And that'll give us a distance for when we put in the firewood depot. Now again, this is not going to sit down level on the ground for us because we're building beside the new splines, but that's okay. After it's all built, we'll go into the Railroad Studio and use Railroad Studio to make sure it is lined up perfectly 90, the same as that, and drop it all the way to the ground, which on their settings, the Z will be on 10,000 because this spot here is 10,000. Okay, now we can work out where this side here needs to sit. It's about there. Which gives us our next lane's position. And we'll just put a piece out here just to mark where it's at. And we'll make this tail here off of this end a little bit longer so we can see where it's at. Yeah, so something I've seen, I was playing on Nix's map, which is the OG devs map, and they actually have their yards spaced out just a little bit more than just a cross tracks width, and I think it actually looks a lot better. So in this build, I'm going to space my yards out just a little bit more, and we'll just go way past. Let me put it down. There we go. So if I space them out a bit more, it'll put just a little bit more space in between each lane. It gives you more room in between them. And I think it looks a lot better to have your yard spaced out a little bit more. And being here, we've got heaps and heaps of room. Like I could put 6 or so lanes in it. I don't think we need 6 lanes. So yeah, we'll put that into about there. Now from here, we'll put it on 50. Will we get a line up for 50? Not quite. So we'll go for this side, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we do need to rotate this around as well. So I'll put it back on 10s and rotate it around to 270. We'll lose our line up. Put a lane in here. Now we'll put it on 50s again. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put in another lane. These are basically just markers of where I want to build over the top with the normal, the old style rails, the ones that are physics object. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put in another line. And I think one more lane will do. Not actually sinking into the ground there. No, not really. One up on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Put in a lane across there. Now we'll come back here to this piece here and take it out. I actually think we'll put the switch straight in here. And I'm actually going to do something a little bit different here, as I'm also going to put in a slight curve here. Which will turn our switches to face slightly outwards. That should be about 5 meters worth of switch I want. I'm just curious, I'm just going to see what happens here and see how far. Yeah, see, that's pushed it out too far. So the first one can't be that far out. So let's try again with this, and we won't quite go so tight. We'll bring it out to 80. We'll only make it 4 meters long. Now let's see where that lines us up at. A switch, turn out to the right. And so yeah, that lines us up a little bit better. How long is that piece in comparison to a cross track? Because that's about the distance we're trying to match here, is a cross track's length. And that's pretty close to being a cross track's length in there, which is what I want. And from there, we'll build a piece on here, and we will turn it back the other way. Trying to work out where it lines up somewhere here straight. Okay. Put it on 10s. I think that's pretty close to being lined up. And put that piece in there. And now again, we're going to come to here and we're going to put in a piece that curves back the other way. And the last one was at 80. We might put this one at 50. And we need our grids on the 50. 3, 4 meters to there. And let's see where a switch lines up. Didn't work, so we'll try another 4 meter length. And we'll put a switch on there and see what we get. And I think that might nearly work. If we put another switch on there, where does that line up to? I think we're too far around because we're coming too far across them now. So we've put in too much of an angle. I think it's here. Put in too much of an angle from there. So we'll put this piece in again here. We'll make it straight. And 4 meters long. Now what do we get when we put in switches? Need to come just a little bit further. Now what do we get when we build our switches over here? Does every one of these pull up before the lane? Yes. Just a little bit too far, so it gains just a little bit each time. So yes, I'm happy with that lead-in runner. What to do? Do I move the tracks over 10 centimeters or do I change the angle? Because this one here is going to be just a little bit too tight, I think. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll add 10 centimeters to the placement from not this one, so we'll go 10 centimeters further out on this one. So we'll come to its placement position. Actually, no, we'll go 20 centimeters. So that's on 10, and that should be 20 centimeters further. We'll put that rail in there just to move them out just a little bit further. They're going to be all oddly spaced then. We're going to have to go add to each one. So we'll start at this one here and we'll go 10 centimeters on it. From that position, 10 centimeters further out. And can I actually delete the one I want? Yes. And then we'll go to this one. And we'll go 20 centimeters further. So we'll add an extra 10 centimeters each time. Should move our track widths over just that little bit. Delete the old one. And again, that's 10, 20, 30. Hopefully this will be enough. That furthest lane in has got enough clearance from that lead-in track. This one, 10, 20, 30, 40. Yes, that'll work now, I think. And this is all trying stuff new. I haven't tested any of this off camera. I'm just having a good old guess at where everything's going to lie and position at. Okay. And I think we should try and do that. That's not going to work. So we'll put a little bit of a straight on here. We want it one nice big curve. So I'll work out where it needs to go. And we'll start putting a curve in here. About here it's going to meet up. And we need to go to ones. It's about here it actually lines up. So we'll put a piece into there. Now we'll do the same thing again here. And you can see these will get tighter and tighter as we go further and further around. About there, I reckon, will be the curve. And then the same on this one, we'll do repeat. Yeah, it's definitely getting tighter. Reposition the mouse. And to about there. I guess we probably could have gained 20 each lane to get the same curve in here each time. Well, what we're doing seems like it's going to work. As long as this curve here is not too tight, which is what we were worried about. Out here on the outside lane. No, it looks like it's going to work just fine. So that's got our lead in tracks. Okay, we should be able to delete these ones here now. That, and delete that, that one. And you're lined in, yep. And now we can put this one here back this way. Oh, we do need it to build straight, so go back hundreds. There we go. And we won't connect it, we'll only just sort of build it up to the length. And the same thing here, we won't actually connect it, we'll just put it. No, we want to be on 10s. Because we want it to line up to where the track should be. And we'll only actually run a short distance, that way we can do it in two pieces so we don't lose our actual line up. And again, we'll do the same thing here. We don't want it to link, we just want it to be past the post. That way our lanes are actually still parallel and we're not connecting onto the end, and it makes the straight line build off the direction of the end of the curve was. And then if we want, we can come back and connect these curves in freehand now, so that we know all the curves sit in the right spot. And we want freehand mode, so these will just all go link. link. The link to there. And to there. And a link to that one. We can take out this last switch here and put this one in as a link as well. And there we go. That's got the lead into the yard all lined out. But of course, the fun thing is we still need to build over the top of this to get it to build in with the old rails over the top. And we'll put this piece here in again as well because we're finished with it. We can hook the link up onto there. And that should be this end of the yard all sorted out. Now we need to put a water tower here as well. This lines up somewhere at the edge of the ties. And well, FakeNeo hasn't added the ability to move or reposition the water towers yet on Railroad Studio, so and it probably will never get added because he's not real happy with the state of the game at the moment, and he said that he won't be doing any more work on the studio to improve it in any way. So basically what we've got there now is all we're going to get. If the state of the game improves and the game actually starts getting worked on properly, I dare say he might come back to it and add new features. Well, I've been asked by a few people just today of how to do or how to use the Railroad Studio to do a tutorial video on it. And I actually don't use everything that's on there, so I'm not fully versed with it. Most things that are on there are pretty much self-explanatory. The bits for moving the industries around, it gives you 3 figures there, or basically it's the X, Y, Z position in the map. And I'm pretty sure it's the X position is north and south, the Y position is west and east, and the Z position is your position up and down. And well, this ground we're currently standing on is on 10,000, and the increments are in centimeters. So 10,000 means that's 100 meters above the floor height of the actual bound of the world. So underneath the world there's another 100 meters down, which if you've ever been under the map, you will know that there's a length of track down there and a rock and a tree and a box. I'm not sure what the box is. Don't ask me what the box is. I can't tell you what the box is, but there's a box down there as well. Okay, now let's start building out from this end here. We've got plenty of room. Up to about level with here, I reckon. Should give us enough. How far do we actually have? Oh, heaps. It doesn't start getting off level until we're about there. So yeah, we'll come level with about the end of where this hill ends over here. Which, we want to give us a decent sized yard on that far lane. And hopefully we do actually have enough length here, because we want to be able to fit about... Yeah, we should be able to fit a 12-car train in there, which will be about as long as what we actually pull in there to sell anything with at the freight depot. And we'll just mark this out as a distance. And a piece of rail on the end. And put the switch back in the other way. And this is basically just build back the opposite end of what we've just built. And I need to have a look at this first line to see how I did this service line. I did put a small curve in there, and I'm pretty sure it was 80. Oh, look at that. You did not clean up that bit of rail. I don't really want confusing bits of rail in here. Did I delete the wrong one? But no, I haven't. See, this is what I was talking about before. That the angle of the curve, if you try and build off from it, it will not be in a straight line north-south. So I actually need to come back and build this way, which is north-south. Put it somewhere where it meets up at this end. Then you delete the curve out, and then you build back from the turnout to here with circle mode off. And that gets everything lined up. And you've got to do it in that order, otherwise your lanes won't be all parallel with each other. Okay, let's come to this end here, and this was a 4 meter length piece. With an 80 meter radius. I want to be on 50, so it's easy to see when we're at 4 meters. 4 meter length. And now we want to have a switch. We want it to go back that way. And we do need to extend this out a little bit further here, so we can see where that curve lines up and meets up properly. Build it through to there, and we build back off of this end here. See where the curve meets in. And we've gone too far. Back to ones. And slowly nudge it back until it lines up. Where is it? I can't see. Oh, there it is. I think that's pretty close to being straight on the money. Place that in there. Delete that bit out of the middle now. Build back from this end. With a straight line, of course. There. And then take and replace this piece. So we did actually curve the right way there. Yes, we did. Circle mode off for this bit. And running alignment on 90. Okay, now this next bit here. What was the curve that we put on this one? I actually think it was 80 as well. Oh, circle mode on. I think it was 80, and it was one piece 4 meters. Oh, we've got to put it on 50 centimeter increments so we know when we're at 4 meters. I think it was actually 2 segments, so we'll go back and we'll have a look. I think it was 2 segments. One was curved and one was straight. Yeah, the first one was curved. Just so we can work out how long we need to build here. We'll turn this around on here and we'll just take a quick little measurement because we can build on top. Close enough. It'll tell us what's a straight line and what's not. So how long was this second piece we built? And I'm going to have a rough guess and say it was 16 meters long. 16 and a bit. So that's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16.8 meters was that length of that piece. And got our curve bit on here, so we'll go straight to building with this, straight mode on. 16. Find out the spot. There we go. 16. Lost it. That spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we'll do the same thing as we did before, and we'll just see how well these line up as we build across them. And I don't know why that did that. It was very weird, and for some reason we are no longer level. And that is most certainly not lining up. Get rid of that. And this. So we've obviously done something wrong that we did different at the other end. We'll have to go back and investigate again. Or perhaps it's the angle of this next curve I got wrong. This little bit of a curve here. So, well, one thing we can do is we can just take this out and take that out and take that out. And we'll work it out as one big piece. Put it in. And it needs to be where does it stop there? 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 20.7. And what radius does it need to be for the whole piece to have a nice smooth curve running through there? And it doesn't actually line up. That's about 150. I hate that when it doesn't work. I thought for sure that would line up. Okay, maybe it was 80. I'll do it again and we'll measure out 4 and we'll just try and replace it. It's 4. And then from there, it reckons straight. And that didn't work either, so it's got us at the wrong angle. Meters, and we'll go 70 this time. And we'll go 70 and see if that lines up. 4 meters. And then build straight from there. And that doesn't line up either. We'll take this piece out again and try again. Don't tell me I did actually put a 30 in here. That's extreme. try again. Then with, and that's still not lining up. I got a feeling I did actually put a 30 meter kink in here. Let's put it all the way around to 30, make it 4 meters long, and see where it lands. Okay, it definitely wasn't 30 then. And you know what? I know how to work out what angle I put in there. Let's just build back from here in a straight line. We'll know what angle it is, and this crosses over it. So it's definitely not 80. So I reckon it's 53. That's about when it meets up. Definitely reckon it's 53. Interesting. I'll put it till it meets up, wherever it meets. Okay, it's 53 and 5 meters long. Okay, for some reason that last piece there lifted up in the air. That was why we were getting a weird thing going on with the... because look at that. I've spotted it. But somehow I'd bumped the grade button. Build back the other way. 53. And 10s, and we want to go out 5 meters. I'll see how long this straight is. Oh, I didn't actually put this piece in. Oh, it's painful. I thought I actually put this in. Make up the 53. 5 meters. And how long is this piece? That's 16, 15. Oh, I wish these measurements worked better. It's guaranteed if I pull it back and pull it out again, I'm going to get a different measurement. See there, no, it's saying 16, so I'll make it 16 meters. Let's do 12, 14, 15, 16. There. Now let's see if our switches line up to where they're meant to go. And that was the wrong switch. We want that one. That looks a little bit better. And that one looks a little bit better. And now I think we've come just a little bit too far, or we aren't quite at the right angle. We're going to take this piece here out. I'll leave it on ones. So I want to come just a little bit wider, so we'll come out to 60. We'll change the angle slightly. Now we'll put in our 16 meter piece that's straight. Then 150s, so we get a better, for some reason it does that. 16 to there. Delete these. And let's see where they all line up this time. They all need to finish before the rail. And that I can be happy with, I think. Okay, let's work out where we line up here. We need to put it on ones and push out just a little bit. About there for that curve. Yes, this is definitely a much more difficult type of yard to build than just using everything all nicely spaced out evenly. Is changing the angle of that the lead in and the lead out to be a steeper angle makes everything just a little bit harder to build. And like this would be nigh on impossible. You'd have to do it freehand if you're doing it with the old splines. But because we're doing it with the new splines, you can actually do a little bit of measuring with it and get it somewhat symmetrical. Still not being the easiest thing to make. And the last one. Let's come back one more, I think. Delete that bit. Yeah, that's fine. That bit, that bit, that bit, and that bit. This one should be already connected in properly. Yep, it is. Now we'll put in these lanes, and we want to be on straight. And build the length out until they're almost at this corners. Oh, give me the connection. There it is. And I'm still building straight. To there. And the last line here. I wonder how far back it was that the incline was turned up. Because as you can see, we're no longer lined up level with where we were. It shouldn't make too much of a problem. It's only a couple of mil off. And this is narrow gauge. Turn circle mode off. And put it on ones. This needs to be on 90 to line up to these properly. Delete all the curves. That curve, that curve, that curve, and that curve. And connect them all back up again. And now there's only one thing left to put in here, and that is a sand house, which it's also going to be painful to build because guaranteed when I try and build it, we'll grab a sand house. See, it wants to put it up on top of the track. So what we have to do here is we actually have to take this piece here out. Hopefully I've got a short bit of straight here that works. Yep. Put it on straight mode. Build our straight track down to about here. Oh, there it is. Somehow I've managed to get that up in the air again. Glad it didn't let me put it in. Now we grab our facilities here and it puts it up on top, but we can get a line up for where it's supposed to sit, which is about there. And hold the mouse still and walk sideways until it goes to the ground. There it goes. For some reason, it hasn't lined up, so I'll stand right over the top of it this time. Move sideways until let's just put it down. I'll obviously move the mouse as I moved. Plonk it down as soon as it lets us get up there. Hopefully that's somewhere lined up to where this will drop. So we'll put another piece of track in here. And that's the 1 hour alarm up. So that will be the end of the episode. Connect this onto here. Oh. And let's have a look and see where it lines up to. Oh, can I reach it? Just there. See if the sand falls middle of the track. And it falls close enough. Yeah, that's center of the track. We can live with that. Very good. Put it back up again. And there we go. We've got a yard with a wider spacing than using cross tracks. Oh, we've still got one piece down the other end here that's not quite right. You need to take that bit there out. And put this piece in its place. Having a link, there. And I actually think there's one piece up this other end. Actually, I'm curious what would happen. And we've got such a weird angle going on here with this. We take these two pieces here out, put them in as a freehand piece. Whether it would give us a nicer curve. Because I don't really like that kink. And it has put it in with a kink and a slight turn back to the right. It does look better than what it did though. We might roll with it. We're going to be building over the top of this anyway with the normal tracks, so we'll be able to wriggle and jiggle it around just a little bit as we build over the top of it. Put it back in at this end. How does that one look? Oh, that one doesn't look quite as bad as the other end. Cones will certainly go over it. There we go. 1 yard at the freight depot. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 lanes we can use. And they should have a decent length. And well, this outside lane, like I could put the hoppers on this one here. Actually, no, probably don't even need to bring the hoppers over this way. So yes, I've got 4 usable lanes. This one here, if I have to. This one is a service lane. This is a through lane, and this is the sell lane. So there we go. And next episode, we'll be back, and we'll build over the top of it with the normal rail. Which guaranteed it'll probably be just as much fun as what it was to try and put in this a little bit more difficult than my normal yards. Alright, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.